So I'm going to make a short video about something, and unfortunately, this is going to piss some people off because people get offended so easily in this world thanks to identity politics and the victim mentality of our society and the race to see who's the biggest victim, and, social media algorithms through Facebook and all its subsidiaries that feed cognitive dissonance, and all these things are intentional. So a gentleman, he was a man, came into our salon who's going through the change, they call it. I assume that he's going to become a woman. That's his plan. Get the surgery, but I don't know. But he identifies as a woman. That's the key. Which, to be clear, I could care less. I don't, if you want to identify as a chicken, what do I care? It doesn't bother me at all. I know, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But this is what does bother me. So he comes into the salon, and him and his friend, and he tries to go into the women's locker room. Now, he's wearing shorts and tank top, short-cut hair. He's a guy, about 20 years old. The manager says, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't go in there. That's the ladies' room." Oh, and then his partner, friend, throws a fit, causes a big scene. Oh my God! How could you stop him going to the women's locker room? He identifies as a woman. He's going through the transition. Blah blah. This big ordeal. Obviously, it was planned. They expected. They get off on the drama. I get that. You know what I mean? They can lie and say, "Oh, I just want to be treated like everyone." No, you don't. If you want to be treated like everyone else, you wouldn't look like a man trying to walk into a ladies' locker room. Stop. Anyway, the point is, this person, my manager, then has to call corporate. Corporate says you have to let him in there. That's the company policy, to respect his rights to identify, and that's fine too. I kind of accept that, if you want to identify as a chicken, like I said, that's your business, whatever. If other people have to respect that, fine. We used to call those people crazy. Now we give them a lot of leg room, so be it. It doesn't affect me, you know what I mean? I identify as a man. You know what I mean? I don't think testosterone is bad. I don't believe all that BS that because you're a man, you're toxic. That's retarded in my eyes. But anyway, but this person looked like a man. This is not a transgender, and excuse me if I get the terms wrong. I'm limited in my knowledge on this stuff. I'm doing the best I can, though. There's no malice intent if I get something wrong, so save your comments. Someday you read, you're like, oh, God, he's transphobic, or whatever word you want to make up that feels good today, because I said a word wrong. So he looks like a man, but he identifies as a woman, so they let him into the women's locker room. And there's a woman in there, having a fit, panicking. This older woman, she's like, I don't understand, I wasn't dressed, this is a man coming in, she was freaking out. And we're all supposed to bow down to respect the rights of this person because they identify as a woman. So they're going through whatever's going on in their head. What about the rights of the woman who was in the locker room? What about her rights to privacy? What about her rights to not be seen by a man naked or in a vulnerable situation? Because that's what gets me ticked off, and that's what, I have a daughter who's 7 years old. And everything on TV now, Netflix, is a gay person in every episode, a transgender. They feed you that. They just beat it down your throat. Fine. We're making up for all lost time. We're putting a black person in every white role, just like they used to put a white person in every colored role or Asian role or any role of a person of color, any color, brown, black, Hispanic, Indian, Pakistan. They always take a white person and put makeup on them and then pass them off as, the Sultan of Brunei or whatever, which was horrible. It's just, that was their conscience. Now they're doing it the other way. Okay. I don't even have a problem with it. You're trying to balance it out front. I have a problem when people try to lie and say that's not what's happening. But whatever, it's obvious that's what's happening. But my point was, we adjust the way we think and the way we act because of political correctness. Let me get back to my point with my daughter before I go on further. My daughter's 7. Well, my daughter's in high school. If there's a 15-year-old boy that identifies as a woman, I can assure you they're going to have to find other ways for that person to get dressed and go to the locker room and stuff. They better come up with a third-party option. Because if that boy tries to go in the locker room with my girl, trust me and that boy are going to have a problem, and me and his father are going to have a problem. I don't care. I do not care about anything. You are not going to get to watch my daughter getting changed just because you identify as something. I don't give a shit if you identify as a turtle. It ain't getting you in that locker room. Period. And what bugs me about this is that used to be considered a sex crime. If I go into a women's locker room now, and I walk in there and I want to check out the girls getting dressed, all I got to do is go in front of the judge and say, "Oh, Your Honor, I identify as a woman." Well, that's ridiculous, right? So why is it ridiculous if you say it beforehand? Why? What makes it better? You know, you can't rob a convenience store just as long as you tell them ahead of time that, you know, you're going to take this and you're not going to pay. So that makes it okay? No, there's no logic to that. You absolutely have to respect the rights of people that are gay, straight, going through changes. I get all that. That's their business. And you want to have a debate about, say I'm a man and I'm wearing makeup and I look like a woman now. I've got boobs. I'm getting the therapy. I haven't gotten the surgery yet. Then an argument can be made. I live life as a woman, even though I still have a penis. So technically, I'm still a man. Sorry to break it to you. That's the way it is. Technically, if you have a penis, you're a man. What you identify as is irrelevant to what you actually are. Lots of people tell themselves they're the greatest basketball player in the world, but they're not. So it's, you know, that's the real world. I know that hurts people because feelings are more important than reality. But nonetheless, that debate can be had. And there can be good points made on both sides. If I looked like a woman and I walked into the men's room, that might throw people off. You know, that's where it gets in this area. But if you're a dude and you're wearing shorts and a tank top and you look like a dude, but now you decided you're going to try to transition into a woman, let's get through the transition first. Then let's start figuring out what bathrooms you're supposed to use or locker rooms or whatever the debate is. In this situation, it was locker rooms. Because you don't belong in the women's locker room just because you're saying that someday you're going to become a woman. Or someday you're going to live as a woman but never go through with it, or whatever his story was. I didn't know him personally. It doesn't matter. It is irrelevant. His rights are not the only rights that matter. It is nonsense in this world that because someone is a minority or someone is a smaller group demographic of any kind, that somehow their rights are more important than everyone else's is ridiculous. It has no value, basis in logic. It's exactly what we're supposed to be fighting against in this country. You know, we're supposed to fight. Thomas Jefferson said, when you deny the rights of one man, you deny the rights of all men. We have that upside down now. Now our society is based on denying the rights of 90 people for the 10. It's backwards. You're not supposed to deny the rights of anybody. Everybody has a right to everything. And that woman that was in that locker room, she had a right to privacy. She didn't have to be dealing with some man who wasn't sure if he was a man or a woman, making a change. It's irrelevant. It should never have happened. He should not be going. He should have enough respect for that woman in that locker room to say, you know what? That would be ridiculous for me to walk in there as a man. I would offend her. She would be extremely uncomfortable, so I shouldn't go in there. Then they say, oh, well, just because you're uncomfortable because he's gay, that's your own problem. No, we're not talking about her being offended because he's transgender or wants to be a woman, or because he's gay or not gay. No. We're simply talking about the fact that he is the appearance of a man. He has a penis. He was born as a man. She is a woman. She was born as a woman. She's not comfortable with a strange man seeing her getting dressed. This isn't rocket science. This isn't a debate. That's the way the world works. A lot of people are like that. Why do her rights have no value and his does? I want someone to explain this to me. Why her right to privacy and her right to not feel offended like that has no value, but God forbid you use the wrong pronoun or surname for him, then somehow it's like, the world is coming to an end. We're all screwed up. And this isn't even debatable. It's not even like an opinion thing or a perspective thing. It's right and wrong. This is one of those things that really is black and white, no gray. She has rights too. He should not be offending her, period. All right, I'm done. That's what was on my mind today, so that's why I got out. And if it offended anybody, hey, I'd love to hear from you. Save your comments and insults, but just tell me what you think. Prove me wrong. Show me where I'm wrong. Maybe I am. Maybe I see the world somehow screwed up, and common sense, or uncommon sense is something I lack, and you're going to prove me otherwise. But I would love somebody to be able to do that. Talk to you later.